Hello, and welcome back to my Magic 100 series, Novice of the Arena. In the 101 episode, we got our first exposure to the game, played lands, cast creatures, beat our opponent down, got them to 0 life. We are now going to play our next game, and again, we are taking this step by step with the Arena tutorial. There's a whole bunch of information that we will get to later when it comes to deck building and what cards you want to play and how many cards you can, yada yada. I'm assuming you are a complete beginner watching this, and we're just going to ease you into it. So let's play our second game.
Surprise attack!
Okay, so now we're noticing a couple new things. One, I started at 20 life,
Yes,
and
first blood.
a normal game of Magic, you will start at
Don't worry.
20 life.
These
Both
things are
both you
basically
and your
nice.
opponent will start at 20 life. Last game it was 8 and 7, that was just to learn. This game at 13. They're making it a little easy on us. The other thing is that this creature attacked the turn they played it. Last video we had said and we saw that our creatures couldn't do that. So what has changed here? Well, this creature has a keyword ability. You'll notice that this is not in italics, it just says haste. And when I hover over this card with my mouse, or when I right click to make it come up bigger, we can read what haste means. A creature with haste can attack and tap as soon as it comes under your control. It doesn't have to wait that turn, summoning sickness. It can go right when you cast it. It's also telling you it's tapped. Creatures tap when they attack. Tapped creatures can't block. Creatures that are tapped on your turn can't attack. And not to overwhelm you, but just like this creature broke a rule by having haste, which lets it do a thing that other creatures can't do, there's going to be some creatures that won't tap when they attack. They have the keyword vigilance. So there is a whole depth of play here that don't get overwhelmed, because I'm with you. We're going to walk through it step by step. Play my land. I can't cast anything. They play another creature. They play 3. They're going to attack me with both. Now notice, once they cast this card, they don't need to spend mana to attack with it.
You need to
This
make
creature has its cost, in this case 1 red, which is produced by a mountain. But once it is summoned, once its cost is paid, it's a creature under your control. You don't need to do anything more to use it. I have my 2 planes, my 2 white mana, I can play my Shrine Keeper. They are attacking me with 3 1/1s. I am going to block. I'm going to block with my creature that has 2 power, 2 toughness. Unless they have any instant speed tricks, I should win this combat. Now, what did I just say? We'll get into details more later, but in the 101 game, you saw that my opponent played a sorcery, which gave their creature +4/+4 until end of turn. So it made it temporarily bigger, but it was a sorcery. They could only do it before or after their combat step. However, instants are the card type that you can play at any point. In response to them attacking with a creature, in response to me saying I'm going to block with a creature. And there are instants that would say, this creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. So I don't think they're going to do that to us because it's the tutorial, but that might be something I'm aware of a little down the line if I'm playing against a human opponent. This is not a good attack for them because they're going to lose this creature, so they might have a trick. Again, trick is the parlance for an instant that you're going to play in combat to change the math on you, change the situation. They do not. They lose their creature, and then at the end of their turn, you can see damage. This creature has taken 1 damage, but all that damage is going to go away at the start of my turn. It's going to heal back up to full health. Now, I don't have any good attacks, because I just have a 2/2. They have a 3/3, and I have no instants or sorceries to change the combat math. Math being 3 is greater than 2. So I'm just going to continue to develop out my board. That's what we say when we are playing our lands, casting our spells, progressing with the game.
Your creatures aren't tough enough to survive being blocked.
It is not in my interest to attack, so I'm not going to attack.
Everybody but me, charge!
Now you noticed, when I was blocking, they are attacking with 3 creatures, and my creature can only block 1 of them, right? If I click on this leftmost Shrine Keeper, and I assign it to block their Raging Goblin, it turns yellow, it indicates, but if I click on it again, I can't make it block the Goblin Bruiser. Each creature can only block 1 attacker. However, multiple creatures can block the same attacker. So this creature has 3 power, 3 toughness. I'm choosing to block it with multiple creatures, a 2/2 and a 1/2. What does this mean? This means that this creature has 3 power. It's going to distribute 3 damage. So it is going to pick which one of these creatures gets 2 damage, which is enough to kill it, and which one only gets 1, which it'll just heal at the end of the turn. Meanwhile, my creatures get to deal all their power to the creature that they're blocking. So this creature is going to take 2 damage from the Shrine Keeper, 1 damage from the cat. That totals up to 3 damage. That's enough to kill it. So there is a slight advantage in the combat math when you're blocking, because 1 creature can only block 1 other creature, but multiple creatures. Sorry, 1 creature can only block a creature, but multiple creatures can block the same creature, whereas you can't attack multiple creatures. You'll also notice, when they declared their attackers, they're just saying, I'm going to attack. If I don't block, it deals damage to me. If I do block, it deals damage to the creatures. You cannot choose to attack your opponent's creatures directly. You're just choosing to attack your opponent, and they may or may not put their creatures in front of that damage. So I'm going to block like this. Like I said,
Nobody kills my troops.
they killed my 2/2. They only dealt 1 damage to my 1/2. So that was a favorable trade for me. Now maybe you're picking up that the type of play of this deck is a little different from the type of play of the first deck. The first deck we played was green. This deck is red, and there are actually 5 colors in Magic. There's blue, there's red, there's green, there's black, and there's white. And each one of those colors has a different play style associated with it. So red has creatures that have haste, they can attack the turn you play it. They deal damage directly to your face, to your health. They're trying to win the game quickly. Green, the last deck we played, you saw it had big creatures, summoning big beasts and monsters to try to win the game with their larger spells. White is going to go wide, is the term. Want to play a lot of smaller creatures to have more than your opponent. And quantity is a quality of its own. As this is still the tutorial, this is not a good attack by them. I get to block all 3 of their creatures. They lost all 3 of their creatures. I didn't lose a single one. Okay, so we've seen another type of rules text. We've actually seen 2. So, this creature has haste. It's a keyword. This creature has an enters the battlefield ability. When it enters, they created 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens, which are just like normal 1/1 token creature cards. This creature, when it entered, it dealt 3 damage to each of us. This creature, which I'm going to cast, when it enters the battlefield, I gain 4 life. My life went from 9 to 13. Great. And now, I notice this creature has no other abilities. It entered, it did its enters the battlefield ability. That's done. Unless it enters the battlefield again for some reason, that ability is not going to trigger another time. So I'm going to attack. I want to get their life total down to 0. 3, 4. Hey, 3 is enough to kill their creature with 3 toughness. So if they want to trade creatures, that's fine with me. It doesn't matter that 7 is much bigger than 4. They choose not to block. They're attacking with their creature. I can trade with it. I can block with a 3/4, and like I said, these creatures deal equivalent. Or I could take the damage, go to 6, hope they don't have a way to deal 6 damage directly to me. We saw they had a way to deal 5 damage directly to me, so maybe there's a way to deal 6. Or I could just chump, block with this 1/2 cat, and stay at 13 life. There's valid reasons to do any of those moves, depending on how much longer I think the game is going to last, but we're taking it simply, and especially for you as a novice, as a beginner, I think the simpler you keep the game, the better you're going to feel about it, the more fun you're going to have with it at the beginning. So we're just going to trade off, remove these things from the board.
A good general knows when they're beat, so you should probably give up now.
And they have no creatures to block with. I have 3, 4, 5, 6 worth of power amongst my creatures.
Mercy
So I'm going to attack with everything. And they are below 0 life. They've lost. Okay, we have won our second game. We are finding our footing. We've taken our second steps now. And I hope you feel just a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more knowledgeable about Magic. Join me next time for Magic 103 as we play our next opponent and get ever closer to finishing the tutorial and making our way into the wide, wide world.
There's a mystic there who spent his life studying the nuances of combat.
Okay, next time we're up against blue. But for now, see ya.